disclaimer, all rights go to Hasbro. And also, just a little side note before we actually get into like the main video, right? I've always wanted to do something relating to Equestria girls because that's something I'm like hugely nostalgic for. So if all of y'all like support this video in any kind of way, like liking, subscribing, or anything of that nature, that's highly appreciative. But let's get into the actual vid. My Little Pony Equestria Girls. Now, I find My Little Pony Equestria Girls to be very interesting because obviously I'm nostalgic for it, but at the same time, it wasn't very well received by critics and audiences alike. And I think the main reasons of this were because, one, many people said it ripped off Monster High because of how the girls looked. Two, it made them sexualized and made the girls look anorexic, so that kind of relates to number one. And three, fan for morphism of the main six and other characters was not very well received. Now, even though, right, I said I'm very nostalgic for this and this holds like kind of a special place in my heart, obviously I'm not going to be, nostalgia blind, rose tinted glasses and all. So this is going to be my own honest opinion. Now, obviously, right, some people watching this may also like Equestria Girls and My Little Pony, but either way, like I said, this is all my own personal opinion. It's like the SpongeBob videos that I constantly make. Just remember, take this with a pinch of salt. First, let's talk about the plot summary. Now, I know that's kind of stupid because, well, the movie is going to be a plot summary as well as a review on the movie, so this section is kind of pointless, right? But the reason I'm doing this is because, well, I just wanted to, tell you my own little shit version of the plot before we get into the actual plot. So how the plot goes is Twilight and Spike go to the human world. They meet Sunset Shimmer, who's also a human. They meet a whole bunch of their friends that have been turned into humans. Twilight falls in love. Big climax, the end. Yes, I'm not even kidding. That's basically the whole plot of the movie. Now, I know that's just basically the shortened and shit version of the plot that I gave you, but if you watch the movie and how I'm going to describe the movie to you, that's literally the plot. Now, look, I'm not going to talk about it too much because I don't want to spoil everything that I want to talk about in the main point, but as a little heads up, that's the main point. That's the whole thing. That's basically a quarter of the pie you're gonna get. Now, is that a reference to Pinkie Pie? Yes, but let's just get into the video. Yeah, to be completely honest, I don't know what to put for the final part of this section, so just enjoy this picture, okay? Now let's talk about the movie. Now, the thing is, I'm currently sick, so if I sound a bit off, or if I sound extremely nasally, bear with, because like I said, I'm sick, and yeah, I just wanted to say that before any of you say, oh, he sounds hella sick. Well, I know this is distracting us from the main point of the movie, but, just gonna let y'all know so y'all didn't question. But let's get into the movie, because at this point I'm just stalling for the sake of stalling, Anyways, to the movie. Anyways, our movie begins with the moon. That's right, the frickin' moon. Do you know why? Because we love moons. Yeah, we love moons, don't we? Yeah, we frickin' love moons. Anyways, and then we have the ponies talking about something. Look, the thing is, I wasn't really paying attention because I wanted to talk about the human part more than the, well, Equestria world part. So let's just skip to that because, look, I ain't trying to sit here talking about some ponies, bro. Oh wait, that's what I'm currently doing. Shit. Anyways, let's get into the actual movie, or I guess as I should really call it, the human world part of the movie. Now, Twilight and Spike come through the portal, which I gotta say, I hate this human Twilight's design. This is why I like the nerdy Twilight, aka known as Sci-Twi. And also, I love Spike's design, it's so cute. And the fact that they didn't take any opportunities to make him into a plushie after the movie came out is crazy. Because the thing is, right, if they made this, dog version of Spike into a plushie, they would have had hella money, bro. This would have done hella numbers in 2013, but no, Hasbro. Anyways, so while Twilight struggles to fit in with the school, she meets some of her friends in human form. Well, I would say friends, but let's be honest. This is just some random stranger that knows all of your guys' names. I'm just sorry, but somebody pulled up to my school and knew my name, even though I've never met them before in my life. I'm calling the cops, bro. I'm calling cops because that's just straight creepy, bro. I know it's a kids movie and shit, but holy, And before you say, oh, it's a kids movie, so you shouldn't be thinking way too deep into this. Oh, shut up. The whole point of movie review is being philosophical and giving your insight about the film. Anyways, apart from that little tangent, we have the scene where Twilight explains to Spike. We have this purple-looking ass Chad called Microchips pull up, and he looks at her like this. And my genuine question is that, like, do you think that guy thought that Twilight was stupid, that she was slow, that she was special needed, that she was special ed? Because, like, if somebody in my school started doing this in the corridors, I too would think that they're special needed. I'm sorry, but I just would, okay? Sorry about that rambling in that shouting. I shouldn't really be doing that with my sore throat and the fact that I'm sick. Anyways, we then have this really cool but corny kind of straight out of a High School Musical movie sequence where the main six dance and tell everybody all come together and vote for Twilight to be queen of the full formal, right? And also, the song that plays during this scene, yeah, the song that you're hearing in the background is actually playing in the scene, which is actually, I would say, really cool, but at the same time, I guess not, because I could just turn on the audio. But either way, the song is a banger. Like, if you have any time to watch the movie, which is available on YouTube, right, I may leave a link to it in the description so you can go watch it for yourself, right? You should really watch this scene. Like, I'd say skip the whole first act, go straight into the middle act, which is where the scene kind of falls into, and watch that, because, bro, this scene is a genuine bop, bro. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like that song. It's that song where you listen to for the first time and you're instantly in love with it because of how catchy it is, how great the instrumental is, and how great for singing, for choreography, everything that can make music and or a music video great. Now, look, I know it's supposed to be talking about the movie, but I just love this scene. Like, you can really tell that they put most of their budget into this scene. And also, seeing the DJ without her glasses was really shocking to me, because I've only always seen her with the glasses on. So it was kind of like dipping your toes into, you know, unidentifiable waters. But hey, I liked it, and I gotta commend you for that, Hasbro, you can do some good things, but at the same time, you also can do some good things. Anyways, after this wonderful, well-animated music video, we go back to straight trash. Okay, I'm just kidding. It's not all trash, but most of it kinda is, in my own opinion, you know? Anyways, so you then have the scene where Sunset Shimmer and her goons, pause, and her henchmen, Snips and Snails, wreck for Jim, blame on Twilight, Flash Sentry, which I forgot to mention, but Flash, like, the whole point of Flash in this movie is just to be the freaking romantic partner. Like, he literally serves no purpose at all. Like, he has like 50 minutes of screen time, 50 lines, and then he promptly just fucks off, you know. Yeah, anyways, apart from that, right, we then, you know, have the scene where Flash comes in, protects his baby girl, and then we have the scene where Twilight runs to Verity's beauty shop because she learns that the dance is being postponed to tomorrow. And also, another crucial thing I forgot to mention, right, is that Twilight was supposed to go home at a certain time, and that certain time was when the full formal was gonna be. But since Sunset Shimmer wrecked for Jim, that means she would stay there for 30 moons, which sounds like 30 days, but actually 30 moons is equivalent to a year and 2 months, which means that if she didn't get the crown like tonight, you know, she would have stayed in Equestria, the human world, for a year and 2 months, which, holy. Anyways, after we have this really cool montage scene of the girls getting all prepped up and shit, you have this dance scene, Twilight wins the full formal, freaking Snips and Snails, freaking background characters, you know, takes a dog, big climax, the end. And no, I'm not even kidding, that's how it basically goes from there. Now, it's time to talk about the final section of our video, known as the conclusion. Now, I think as a whole and in general, My Little Pony Equestria Girls, for what it is, isn't actually that bad. Now, I know that's funny because I put the thumbnail as it's crap, but honestly, it's not that bad. Now, obviously, I think it did come out at a good time, but I don't think many of the people that watched it when it initially came out liked it that much, because yes, it does look like a rip-off of Clone High, yes, it was obviously made to sell toys, and yes, it's kind of not that good in some places. But even though you can make the argument that for bad outweighs the good by a large whole, I think, in my opinion, that for good actually outweighs the bad. Because the things that really carry this movie for me is the great soundtrack, the good animation, and the story. Now, I know this story is very cliche. Oh, girl comes to a high school that's very segregated based on social cliques, but through friendship, she managed to bring them all back together. Now, yes, that's very cliche, but I think in this case, since, you know, there's already kind of an established dynamic between Twilight, the main six, and Sunset Shimmer, I think it just works a little bit better. Now, I know I've kind of panned this movie in this review up until this point, but like I said, the good outweighs the bad by a large margin in my own opinion, because, well, it's My Little Pony. I like My Little Pony. No matter on how good or bad the media is, I'm still gonna like it. Now, of course that may sound like blind nostalgia, or, oh, I'm just saying I like this because I can. No, it's actually really good. So, I think the argument that this sucks, or it deserves to hate, or it should have never been made, it's like, I don't know. I guess it just kind of demeans and denounces the hard work that went into it. Now, of course, I'm not going to suddenly switch up because, well, it's actually good. I'm still going to have my own qualms with it. I'm still going to have my own problems with it. In fact, the movie is still going to have its own qualms and problems with itself. But either way, it's still a good piece of media that tries hard, and that's what I can appreciate. Media that's hated but tries hard. Now, that can be said for everything, but either way, I still like it. Now, I know I'm basically saying the same thing over and over and over again. Oh, I like it, it's really good. But that's what it is, it's really good. And because of that, the final score for this movie would have to be 7 out of 10.
So, I just push the letters here, and then the words and moving pictures will come up here?